orchestrating. That's what we did today. We orchestrated our strategy to perfection, all the way to take profit. We came in, we saw the notes, we saw the lyrics, we saw how we were supposed to execute. We looked at the director of the market. Log in. And we followed, step by step, play by play. And we took profit. Oh my. Wow. Give me a breather. It gets pretty tiring after doing these all the time. Hold on. I want you guys to listen to this guzzler. Take a listen. Wow. Okay, lock in. It's just too easy nowadays. It's just too fucking easy nowadays, man. It's too damn easy. What if I was from an Indian tribe? What if I was from an Indian tribe? Wow, okay, that was racist. What if I was from an African tribe? No races involved. What if I was from an African tribe and I had one of those lip whistles, and the only way that I could communicate to you guys was through clicks? How about this? We're gonna test this out for today's trade recap. Okay. Starting, hold on. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, chill. All right, lock in. I was actually explaining it to you guys, but I know you guys aren't bilingual like me, so you guys probably couldn't understand. Anyways, coming into the day, let's lock in. Yesterday, I did not trade because we had FOMC. We had rate cuts for the first time in 4 years, so that's awesome. Maybe I'll make another YouTube video talking about that and how it's affecting crypto really positively so far. But anyways, coming into the day for recap-wise, we have these 4-hour highs up here that were kind of a draw in liquidity. Other than that, there wasn't really much in terms of 4-hour draws in liquidity. The only other 4-hour lows we had were all the way down here. So we had those 4-hour highs. And then in terms of the hourly, we had these hourly highs that I clicked and told you guys about. We had these hourly highs that we were pretty much hovering above during pre-market, but we hadn't seen a reaction from them yet. And then we also had these hourly lows and then this hourly imbalance here on NASDAQ. And we'll also cover the S&P 500 after this, which I did not take a trade off of. So coming into the day, again, like I was saying, we were hovering above these highs during pre-market, and we can go in here and we can see that, okay? However, we hadn't closed above those hourly highs yet to like confirm that it was a, I guess, just continuation of the trend. So I was still kind of saying like, hey, we could still give a reaction off of this and make it be a valid liquidity sweep. And that ended up being what it was. So we can see market opens right here on this down candle. So again, I'm treating this as a potential liquidity sweep right when market opens. We see a down candle, and then I'm like, cool, I want to see a 5-minute retrace, because if we go above a high time frame draw on liquidity, we see a move down. We see confirmations to the downside. On the 1-minute time frame, I'm going to be looking for a 5-minute retrace for me to look for executions on the 1 minute from there. We end up pushing up one more time on NASDAQ, and we made this 5-minute SMT or 1-minute SMT, whatever you want to call it, but we have these highs right here on NASDAQ, higher highs on NASDAQ, while ES was literally just like in the freaking gutter. So this was ES highs on open, and then we made 1-minute highs all the way down here. It was like a really absurd SMT on the lower time frame. So for me, I was like, okay, bet. Like, NASDAQ is all the way up here. We still have the potential to sweep out this liquidity. We haven't really given any reason for NASDAQ to move to the upside yet. The only thing that we have are these lows right here, which for me, if price does want to move to the upside, I would probably want to see that get hit. So from there, we have that SMT. We already got the 5-minute retrace. We see a 1-minute inverse for value gap off this inverse, and then we have this bearish imbalance right here. That price moves up, fills, strong rejection to the downside, boom, enter off that, stops above these highs. First take profit was based off these lows right here, and I cannot lie, I got a little bit greedy during the kick stream, which if you guys are not watching the kick streams, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. I go live every single morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for you guys to watch me do this, okay, for freaking free. So my first take profit was here. I made around $4,000 off of taking half of my position off. And then I had told the stream that I was going to put my second partial take profit right here, but then I ended up removing it and saying that I wanted, and again, like, I'm not going to fucking lie to you guys and be like, yeah, I actually took profit here. No, I'm not about that shit. But this was the start of that hourly imbalance, and I got a little bit greedy. I said that I was going to take partial profits right here because it was a little bit closer to the like 50% mark of this hourly imbalance. Price instead did not want to move down there, didn't want to hit my second take profit or my final take profit, which was based off of these hourly lows all the way down here. And price just wanted to, boom, end up moving back to the upside from there. So super small trade for me today, only ended up making $4,000. But regardless, still perfectly executed and played out pretty much how I wanted it to. Now, let's go ahead and talk about ES for today. So ES was interesting because we have all-time highs literally right here, and that was our only draw on 4-hour liquidity for the S&P today. We had these 4-hour lows all the way down here, but that was not going to happen. And then in terms of hourly highs, we had these hourly highs right here that we had created during pre-market, which again, similar situation to NASDAQ. We were kind of hovering above them during pre-market. But anyways, we have these hourly highs, and then for ES, we didn't really have any hourly draws on liquidity to the downside, but we did have some imbalances here. So we had this bullish imbalance, which we actually already pushed through during pre-market, so we can actually get rid of that. And then this imbalance right here, and then this imbalance right here. So scaling down to the 5-minute, we can see that right when price opens, we made these equal highs, the 5-minute candle before market open. Market opens, we get a sweep of liquidity, we get that break of structure to the downside, and then from there it was like just straight capitulation. The 1 minute looks like this. There was really nowhere to enter on the 1 minute. This was the high that ES made for the SMT against NASDAQ. So again, NASDAQ was obviously the lagging index today. We end up pushing into these hourly imbalances, and then we actually wanted to use this bottom hourly imbalance to cause price to move higher. And that was kind of it for the day. You guys very well could have found a trade on ES if you guys wanted this 5-minute break of structure right here, followed by this 5-minute imbalance getting filled. And then from there, you could scale down, look at the 1 minute, and we have this inverse fair value gap right here, followed by this bullish fair value gap coming in, getting filled, longs off of this, and then boom, you could have rode that to all-time highs. But for me, like, I saw this setup happening. I had already won my trade on NASDAQ. There was literally zero reason for me to come in and try and take a second trade. But, you know, either stop loss like underneath here, this candle, boom, take profit right there, or stop loss underneath like these dead lows right here, just right underneath the fair value gap, whatever it may be. You would have hit take profit on this. I know that some people took this trade because people were tagging me in Instagram stories and stuff, and I saw this as well. For me, most of the time it's like, look, if we sweep out one set of buy side liquidity and then come down and we either sweep out sell side liquidity or fill a sell side imbalance, whether it's buy side liquidity or buy side imbalance, and then price pushes down to either a sell side liquidity or sell side imbalance, especially on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. For me, I'm like, look, we took out buy side and we took out sell side. Do we really think we're just gonna whipsaw for the rest of the day? Like, I don't think so. Most of the time, like, after we see both buy side and sell side taken out for the day, I don't want to participate. So that's another reason why this just didn't make any sense for me. We already took out buy side. We already took out sell side. You know, what are the odds that price actually wants to fully push up and hit all-time highs? It ended up wanting to do that today. But for me, more often than not, that's not typically a smart time to take a trade. And especially this was later in the day. It was around like 10:20, 10:19. So that covers the NASDAQ trade that I took for the day. Super simple. One take profit was hit. This was pretty much for me, like, perfect setup. You know, we get the high time frame liquidity sweep. We see the 5-minute retrace, and then we see the executions on the 1 minute. That's like my bread and butter, and played out freaking perfectly today. So I don't think there was really anything anything that I did like horribly today. Yesterday we had rate cuts, so rates got cut by 50 bips, which is, I think, short term really bullish for the market. We haven't seen rate cuts for the past 4 years, which is pretty huge. However, I will say last time we saw rate cuts of 50 bips was right before the 2008 housing crisis, which is funny. I know a lot of people were kind of freaking out like, oh my God, last time this happened, there was a huge recession. Look, bro, in my eyes, I mean, fuck it. We'll talk about some crypto shit right now, and high time frame stuff. Like, look, bro, in my eyes, this is the S&P 500. This was 2008. More often than not, we see a down candle on the S&P 500. If you just start fucking dollar cost averaging after a single down candle on the S&P 500, you're gonna be getting fucking paid. And to this day, here, let's find the S&P all-time chart. Vantage ETF. I wonder if this, let's go indexes. Yeah. Let's look here, bro. Look, bro. If you were just to go long on like a single, obviously this is back in freaking forever, right? But when was this? 1931. Damn. I wonder who got shot back then. Maybe that was fucking Ronald Reagan. Wait, did he get hit in the head? Nah, that was John F. Kennedy. Wait, what? Wait, JFK? Yeah, JFK was the one that got hit by the dome. But anyways, that... What are we talking about? Anyways, if we just look back on this, like, obviously this is way back in the day. Let's get to more like industrial times, 1950s. If you just buy on anytime you see a red candle on the S&P 500 and you just hold that bitch, you're going to be up. Even if there's 2 consecutive red candles, you're going to be fucking up, bro. Like, boom, 3 down candles. You still press long on that shit? Like, yeah. You might be in drawdown for a couple years, but if this is long-term play, you're going to be fucking up. You're going to be fucking up. You're going to be all the way the fuck up. All right? So, with that in mind, me personally, I think this was the retrace. I think this shit was the recession that everybody's talking about. Oh, recession this, recession that. Bro, everybody's calling for a recession. No. Like, this was a recession. So in turn, right, like this 2008 down candle was a recession. These candles look pretty fucking similar. COVID-19, I'm not even allowed to say that. LeBron James 19, whatever. Look, if we see a down candle on the S&P 500, I'm fucking longing that bitch. 10 times out of 10. I'm longing it. And I'm dollar cost averaging throughout the S&P 500 consistently, regardless. Okay, so like the people that are calling for a recession within the market, they're not calling for a recession. They're calling for the collapse of the United States. And yes, that's due to come sometime, but everybody thinks it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And there's no reason to be like trying to fucking catch the top of the fall of a fucking empire. You know, that's like trying to short like the Roman Empire. I know I'm a man, but you know, like Roman Empire as they just like continuously go up. And yes, maybe you are able to catch the very top of the collapse of the Roman Empire or like the United States, and you catch its economy collapse. Congratulations. But the amount of times that people have called for a recession from the past, bro, like since 2020, people were calling for a recession. Does this look like a recession? Does this look like a recession? This, sure, yeah, we had a down year. We had heavy inflation, and that's what we needed to figure out with those rate cuts. But now, like, look at price, bro. We are surging past all-time highs. We are ripping. People have been calling for a recession for literally years now. So to be trying to catch the top of like a empire's collapse, you're pretty fucking stupid in my eyes. I think everybody thinks that there's going to be a recession. Like, what else do you want besides a down candle on the S&P 500? Like, do you want us to like come all the way back down to 1999 and 2008 levels? It's just not going to happen for the S&P 500. Like, straight up, it's not going to happen. So, again, that's my thoughts on the overall market and what it looks like right now. I know everybody's calling for, like, recession. I just don't think that's the case. I think rate cuts is bullish for us. It means that, hey, after the past 4 years of dealing with inflation, we're finally slowly figuring it out. I can talk about crypto for, like, 2 seconds. I don't want to bore you guys. But, essentially, these have been our levels for, like, the past 2 to 3 months. I made a couple TikToks about this, but we've visited this 52K price range twice now, and ideally we never see it again. And ideally we never see this 59K to like 58K price range again either, because rate cuts came out yesterday. Price was extremely bullish because of it. Now we're coming up into the 65K range on Bitcoin. If we can hold above $65,000, or if we can just hold above $66, if we can get something like this, like a push past this and a revisit of this and hold this fucking level and never come back down to these levels ever again, it's going to look good. If we can get buying pressure out of this, then the next stop is going to be 70K, and then I think if we can push past 70K, it's just rocket ship time. Because we have low resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity, price discovery up here after that. So, again, we've been in this shakeout for too damn long, since March of 2024. It's been like 6 or 7 months now. We're coming back up to these lower highs. We did form a mini downtrend on Bitcoin. We have a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. If we can bop above this, could be fucking huge. Okay, so that's kind of where my eyes are at for crypto. And then also on top of that, Ethereum is lagging heavily behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin's like pretty much right here in like comparison to Ethereum, and Ethereum is lagging heavily behind it. Ethereum hasn't even reached previous all-time highs, which leads me to my next point, where I think I don't even think this bull run, I mean like in quotations, bull run has like even started yet, because we know how the fucking bull run flows, right? It starts off with, here, let me bring up the chart that I showed in that I showed on the kick stream today. Right here. The path to alt season, brazas. Here we go. Right here. So you can see phase 1 is Bitcoin. Flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing price surges. Okay, so like we did see like a mini alt season run on this move up, but that's pretty typical when we start kicking off with things. But typically in this first phase, Bitcoin is dominant, right? And right now we know that for a fact, like Bitcoin is the most dominant coin in the market right now, and out of any of the coins that you could have chosen to buy down here, Bitcoin would have been the smartest one. Because out of all of the coins, even Ethereum, like, look, if we bought down here on Bitcoin, look where we are in comparison to the chart versus Ethereum. If we bought down here, where are we? We're right here. We're not even past all-time highs yet on Ethereum. So Bitcoin is dominant over Ethereum. If we want to even talk about like Solana, for example, one of like the hottest altcoins, everybody fucking loves Solana. I mean, Solana is fucking awesome for me, but you know, like we can look at Solana. Look at this, okay? So again, Solana, another really good example, okay? So if we bought all the way down here, like in comparison to Bitcoin, which one is holding its value better? Bitcoin. Look, here to all the way up here, Solana, here, still pretty high, but not as dominant as Bitcoin. Bitcoin still remains the most dominant coin within the market right now. It's held its value the best during this 6-month wear and tear. Like Ethereum, boom, didn't hold its value well. Solana, pretty decent, but still, we saw a big correction from these highs all the way down here. 45% correction. So right now, we're still in the Bitcoin dominance phase. And then from there, once Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, that's when the game starts. And we have not seen that at all this bull run. If we literally just look at this chart, look, this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. This entire bull run, not once has Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. Not a single time. Ethereum has not flipped Bitcoin. The flippening hasn't happened on Ethereum to Bitcoin this entire run. So we are still here. And until Ethereum can flip in Bitcoin and start outperforming Bitcoin, or at least maybe like Solana can start outperforming Bitcoin, we're still in phase 1. And then once this happens, that's when everything starts fucking going berserk work. And that's when money flows into large cap altcoins, so like Solana, AVAX, layer 1s, Chainlink, some of these Dino coins that have been around forever, are large market cap coins. And then from there, that's when the large market cap coins, we can siphon those profits into lower market cap coins, like come up some of our fucking vaporware projects, some of our fucking big gambles that end up turning into 100 or 200 X's. But right now, Bitcoin remains the most dominant coin in crypto. Ethereum, weak as shit. And until Ethereum can flip in Bitcoin, we haven't even started the fun and games. So honestly, by saying all that, I know it sounds kind of like sad or whatever, but if anything, it's exciting. So yeah, if you guys want to learn about my freaking crypto stuff, I talk about crypto all the time on Twitter. I don't really talk about it anywhere else. Sometimes I'll make posts about it on TikTok and all that. I don't really like talking about it too much on YouTube, but here we are. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the day. I gave you guys a little economics class on rate cuts and Bitcoin and order flow and all that. So that being said, I love and appreciate you boys. I'll see you guys tomorrow during the kick stream. Doses.